How's it going, everybody? This is Cameron White with White Light Astrology, giving you guys your weekly forecast of what the heck is going on in the universe. Thank you guys so much for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing to my videos, and follow me on Twitter and follow me on Facebook. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Before I begin, I'd also like to mention I'm in my car again. I keep getting to the spot where I usually do my videos, and it's way colder all of a sudden here, and it's really windy, and I'd rather just do it in my car than have a bunch of noise bug you guys. But either way, we're going into a really big week. I think this week is going to be more than what people expected, because we have Mars entering Sagittarius, Mars hitting 29 degrees Scorpio. It's a lot of power, a lot of energy right there, as well as Mercury conjuncting Pluto in Capricorn. All building up for eclipse season, for this full moon in Leo, it's a total lunar eclipse. I don't think we're gonna be able to see it on our side of the world. I don't really know that much about the eclipses and where we're going to see them and all that kind of good stuff, but it is the full moon season coming up. But as we go into this week, we've been going through a lot of, I think, purging. This Jupiter in Scorpio is kind of like, I feel like stirring the pot almost, with a lot of really dark things about ourselves that we've repressed, but we're able to look at them in this not so cynical and intense light. And with that being said, with Mars going through there, really doing the dirty work, really cleaning everything up, I think this is this week where we get to see that spring in action that we've been kind of needing and been kind of wanting to feel. If you've seen in my other videos, I talk a lot about Scorpio being that release point. If you were to call Scorpio a rubber band, for example, Scorpio's right here, and on top is everything good imaginable, money, positivity, sex, love, relationships, good career, good family, traveling, all that kind of good stuff. While down here is like, depression, suicide, addiction, and blah, 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 as bad as it can get. I'm kind of just being, very, I guess, extra with it, but you get what I'm saying. Scorpio is that rubber band pulling itself all the way down to as low as you can go. And then also, if you see my videos, I talk a lot about Scorpio being the letting it go planet, the letting it go sign, of, surrendering, like not having to be in control all the time. However, that rubber band pulling it all the way down, letting it all go, and releasing it, flying upwards into Sagittarius. And that's what we're going to experience this week with this Mars energy. And Mars likes being in Scorpio, but I think a lot of this Jupiter energy has been kind of messing with it, as well as it's trying to Neptune and Chiron. This has been a lot of new understandings. This has been a lot of realizations. This has still been very confusing, though, as well. It's like the more and more we dig up, the more and more we have questions over. And this week, let's say, when does Mars enter Sagittarius? That's happening this Friday. And the moon is going to be opposing Gemini. So before I even get into all of that, let me actually talk day by day, because this is going to be kind of a system of operation, almost in a sense of how this is going to partake. So starting off on Monday, Sun's going to be in Aquarius. It's still conjuncting Venus. It's sextiling Mars, sextiling the moon in Aries, because the moon just went into Aries as far as Monday goes. Moon in Aries is going to be trining Mars, still barely trining Mars. It's going to be squaring Saturn and Mercury, and Jupiter will hit 20 degrees Scorpio. But the biggest thing I wanted to say is that this moon in Aries is going to be squaring Saturn and Mercury. Tomorrow we may feel a little bit frustrated. Monday may be a little bit frustrating. Monday may be a little bit heavy. It may be, very hardworking, very determined to get some stuff done. I'm not saying heavy as in like, a burden, but it's just going to be a lot of, it's kind of like when you got to go into work, and as much as you would like to, take a break, check your phone, get your coffee, it's like, no, you got to go to work. Like, you guys are slammed right when the doors open, basically. That's what Monday's going to feel like. But on Tuesday, we have the moon conjuncting Uranus as it's squaring Mercury and Pluto and trining Saturn. This is that moment where we get the opportunity to, again, liberate ourselves. Every time the moon comes in contact with Uranus, this is where we get to liberate ourselves. This is where we get to free ourselves. This is where we get to, really embody that energy. And with this being in Aries, this is about ourselves. This is about who we are. This is about wanting more. This is about being determined. It's all that Aries, that Mars quality stuff. And as the moon conjuncts Uranus, this is going to be very intense, very emotionally dramatic. It will be squaring Mercury and Pluto, though. This will be frustrating. It will be like, you want to get things done, but the system in the way that you want to get them done, and you want to just plow through it. This Mercury in Capricorn isn't allowing that. You've got to take your time and figure out what is going to be the most effective, what is it within integrity of yourself, what is the most efficient, what is the most grounding way to go about it. You know, Aries is that energy of just forward movement, dominance, getting control, all that kind of good stuff, while Capricorn is more like, okay, we still want that, but we have to do it in a very systematical approach in order to get those wanted results with the most efficient, you know, way of doing it. And this is going to be a little bit frustrating. It's going to be hard to wrap our minds around this because Mercury has not conjunct Pluto by then. But it will be trining Saturn in Capricorn. If you really want to be channeling that Saturn and Capricorn energy, getting your shit together, getting everything in place where you need it to, really working hard, you've got to really embody this Moon in Aries conjunct Uranus feeling. That's happening on Monday and Tuesday. Maybe very frustrating. It may be very like, I guess the best way to put it is like that's how I feel like with the Moon in Aries. But let yourself have a breakthrough moment. Let yourself get angry. Let yourself have this. Let your, you know, figure out every other way around your situation that you have to. Figure out, you know, get as hard and beat up yourself as much as possible. Do it. Experience that energy. Because when we have Mercury conjuncting Pluto on Wednesday, the next day, this is going to be a new shift in mindset. With where Saturn's at right now in Capricorn, with Mercury conjuncting it over this new moon, and it was kind of like we have to put this we have to, you know, process this new information and have a new mindset towards things about structure and discipline, and it's just like, what, you know, it's not working, it's not the way that we want it to be. And as Mercury goes over Pluto, this is when it's going to get serious. This is when it's going to be in all honesty, this is when it's going to really fully hit. With the Saturn and Capricorn energy, it's kind of like we're still all over the place. Everything's still like, like that's just how I feel. I just feel like everything is just blah right now. As Mercury hits Capricorn, or as Mercury hits Pluto, this is going to be the time where we make a decision, we get committed, we get that, you know, seriousness. It's putting on our business face, put on our poker face, putting on our, you know, our game face. We got to be ready. We've got to take on that mindset. We've got to be doing, you know, we've got to be willing to do whatever it takes to have the mindset that we need in order to get this stuff done. In order to really I don't want to say block out the emotions, but detach from the emotional, sentimental aspect of things where it's holding you back and it's draining you. Being able to really embody the energy of Capricorn. That's that moon, not the moon, that's the Mercury conjunct Pluto thing we got going on. On the same day, the moon will be in Taurus. It will be squaring the sun and Venus, but it will be trining Saturn. So as the moon's in Taurus, it's going to be hard for us to get a little bit uncomfortable here. But if we really channel that Saturn and Capricorn energy of how bad do we want to get this shit done, you know, everything can be falling apart. You know, all these structures, all the way that we've done things, it's all changing now. And as this moon in Taurus comes about, you're going to feel a little bit frustrated of wanting to let go, of having to be vulnerable and not, you know, be insecure for a second as you let go of that control. Again, this is when on Thursday, Mars is going to be at 29 degrees Scorpio, directly opposing this moon in Taurus. So again, the biggest thing I could say is figure it all out this week. Get frustrated, beat yourself up, go nuts, get really mad and punch a wall if you want to. I'm not recommending go punch someone or anything, but just get it out. Get it out this week, because as this moon in Taurus hits, opposing Jupiter, and then it's going to go to Gemini, opposing Mars, right as Mars goes into Sagittarius, which is going to be in Thursday and Friday, this is when we are going to have to really let go in order to receive. And it's going to be like that, because the second Mars hits Sagittarius, it's like the moon will hit Gemini and directly oppose it. Now it's going to be like, okay, where are we taking all this? It's kind of like we're going to let go, blast off almost in a sense, with a whole new direction and understanding of how we're going about that. But, you know, it's going to be a wild ride. There's going to be a lot of new questions. There's going to be a lot of new experiences. As Mars goes through Sagittarius, it's actually not going to be making any aspects besides still trining Chiron, really, on Saturday, because it leaves its conjunction with Jupiter, which, thank God. I feel like this Mars conjunct Jupiter was just kind of like, I felt like it was really boring for, you know, Jupiter being in Scorpio, to be honest with you. However, it has been a lot of purging, it has been a lot of healing work, has been a lot of emotional work, a lot of artistic, creative work, stuff like that. That's really what's been happening since this Mars has been in Scorpio, because it's trining Chiron and trining Neptune and all that kind of good stuff. But Thursday, I still want to talk about this as Mars hits 29 degrees Scorpio, opposing the moon's going to be opposing Jupiter and Mars. It will be sextiling Neptune, Chiron, and trining Pluto and Mercury. This is when the aha moment kind of comes, when you're going to have to be like, oh, I get it. I see what I got to do now. And it's going to be that letting go, opening up to receiving, being able to really, let go of whatever control you want over your situation, and not worry about having control over it, and worry about this Capricorn energy of putting in the work, of just doing what it takes. Don't worry about what control. Don't worry about what it's supposed to look like. Don't worry about being uncomfortable or insecure or vulnerable or being too cynical with things. Just let all that shit go. I don't want to say it's all about focusing on the work like the Saturn and Capricorn energy really is all about, but this is going to be about developing a new mindset that's more business oriented, that's more task oriented. And that is going to take a lot of soul searching. It's going to take a lot of new understanding. It's going to take a lot of, internal emotional work. But I think you guys got it. I think we're all ready. Otherwise, it probably wouldn't be happening. Then, this weekend, honestly, not a lot's happening because Mars leaves its conjunction with Jupiter. Moon will be in Gemini. It's going to be squaring Neptune and Chiron. So again, this Moon in Gemini, after, it opposes Mars, and we're off on a new direction. Mars in Sagittarius is really like go time. It's kind of like, there's a really funny gif if you look it up, Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's like Neil deGrasse Tyson in the beginning of one of his shows, and he's like taking off through space, and that's exactly what Mars in Sagittarius feels like. It's like, whoa! And the moon's going to be in Gemini, opposing that, so it is going to be like a big head rush. It's kind of like if you ever got dared to go on a roller coaster and you don't ride roller coasters, like the second you take off, you question everything, why you even did that and why you made that decision, but you have no choice but to go with it. That's what's going to feel like. So as it squares Neptune and Chiron, don't get too, emotionally invested into it. Don't make this into a bigger ordeal than it needs to be. That's what I really see with Gemini and Pisces. It's like Pisces is like, I gotta question everything, and it's all gotta be the spiritual, weird divination understanding. And Gemini is like, I just need the facts. I just need some answers. It really doesn't have to be this big clash. There can be a middle ground. And on Sunday, the moon will then go into Cancer, oppose Saturn, and then Mars will start sextiling Mercury. As Mars starts sextiling Mercury, that's when it's going to be like, okay, I know what actions I got to start taking. Okay, I know where I could start to move forward. I see where I can kind of take my energy. So give yourself some time with that. Then moon will be in Cancer, opposing Saturn. This is going to be like that time where we go, oh shit, like I am really getting serious with this. And that's going to be Sunday and Monday too. That's going to be, we're really getting serious with this. Like, this moon in Cancer, right before this full moon in Leo, is literally the emotional investment into these new beliefs that we have with ourselves. And this is all of that North Node in Leo, all of that eclipse in Leo stuff about what are we capable of doing, what do we want to feel, who do we want to be, where do we need to give more love, where do we need to receive more love, how can we step into our power, where do we need to be more courageous and brave in our lives. And this moon in Cancer is really going to be like that, that pep talk before game day. And then it's eclipse season. So that's what I got for you guys. Again, thank you guys so much for watching all my videos. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. Follow me on Twitter at WhiteLightCam. Same thing with Instagram at WhiteLightCam. And Facebook, YouTube, White Light Astrology. I love you all so much, and I'll be seeing you guys next week.